This story is guided. The reaction is psychic, and everything you are hearing is happening in real time.
I do feel like it may be about disappearance of people.
Darcy's reaction came before Nicola revealed the episode was about several missing persons. This is Seeing Dead People, where a psychic walks into a mystery she's never heard. Nicola brings the case. Darcy knows nothing about it. Together, they explore what Darcy's intuition catches before Nicola reveals the facts, and what refuses to stay buried. Disappeared. The Bennington Triangle Mystery.
Hello, Darcy. I think we've got a corker of a story tonight. It's going to be, I think, a real test of your intuitive skills. Not that the others haven't been, but I think this one in particular might be. I'm first going to ask you, where are we going tonight? What geographic location? Does anything
Okay, I heard England. All right, that's what I heard. But I think it might be more like a place that's like England. So that would take us to Canada. My guess is Canada.
Okay, well, you're wrong, amazingly
Okay.
enough. But we are going to a place that's kind of like England. We are going to the great state of Vermont.
I was going to say it's the U.S.
Yeah, and Vermont is really one of the, I believe, old-fashioned kind of English colonial states from the original days. So yes, we are going to a place that's kind of like England, very green. I think it's called the Evergreen State, in fact. We are going to be centered around an area called Glastonbury Mountain. And again, you might have picked England because of the term Glastonbury, which is English. There's an English location very famous there. So I don't know. I'll give you a point or two there.
Okay, no, I was going to say, you said Glastonbury?
Glastonbury, yep.
Yeah, it sounds like Glasgow.
Oh, okay. Well, Glastonbury Mountain, in a very forested region in south kind of western Vermont, I'll give you a picture in a second, was once a logging town. It's now considered a haunted mountain wrapped in pine and fog and silence, Darcy. So I want you to look at our first photo, which is always the old map from Google. Not necessarily anything wonderful, but you often can get amazing things from a map. So I'm going to show our audience our map. There you are. There's the shape in red of the state of Vermont. And in yellow is kind of the area what we're focusing on in the Green Mountain National Forest.
Is this like Witch's Mountain?
I don't know. What's Witch's Mountain like?
Like the Disney Channel, the Disney show, Witch's Mountain. It feels like there might be mass murder here.
Oh, woohoo. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you, you're thinking, I'm going to give you a look at photo number two, which is a photo of the sort of the mountain in the daylight. A good one, if I can get it here. Here we go. There's photo number two. So there's the mountain and all the forest around it.
Okay.
Not a very high mountain per se. I'm sure it is high, but it's not like one of our mountains with snow on it and the like.
Yeah.
It's not craggy, literally. It's got lots and lots of trees. Okay, so this area is a large swath of forested land protected in a reserve called the Green Mountain National Forest. So you're thinking mass murder, but I'm going to say that's not correct. Although, if you think about it a little bit more, maybe you might come towards what it might be.
I don't think it has to do with wildfires. Okay. I do feel like it may be about disappearance of people. All right.
Okay. Why do you think?
Well, because I was going to say, it sort of reminds me of that mountain in, where did we go? Where they had alien sightings.
Oh, yes, in Brazil. Yes.
Yeah, that's where it was. Yeah. So it sort of feels like it overlaps a little bit like that.
Okay.
Okay. Someone's definitely disappeared, but it does feel like it's family. It doesn't feel like just one person. It feels like there's multiple people. Okay. And it feels as though, what's the word I want to use? That maybe a family's involved.
Oh, okay. Fascinating. Okay. Well, I think I'm interested to see how you went from the idea of mass murder to the idea of disappearance to the idea of multiple disappearances.
It it was like trying to connect the dot, or today the term's been whack-a-mole. Okay. Trying to move things aside. It's like when you're putting together a bookcase and you open it up and you've got a little more space so you could shove something else in it. Okay, that's what it was feeling like.
Wow. Okay, well, darn it, you're right on. Absolutely.
Really?
Right. Absolutely. So I'm going to give you another shot of another map. We are going to talk about disappearance today. If I can get this one to come up again. Okay, so here we are, just more tightly showing you. Here's our area, the triangle.
Okay.
There's a town called Albany. You can see kind of over there where my name is, Nicola. It's covered by the blue. And there's a place called Hell Hollow Brook, great name. And the triangle is this sort of national forested area where things have happened, okay,
All right.
in this area. So in late 1945, something's happened in this area, and I'm going to show you the location of where that event happened. So here we are again. We were over here, over here is Albany. Over here, it's hard to do. Over here is Albany. Down here. Frig. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way here. Okay. And we're focusing on the area of Glastonbury Mountain. You can see it's written there. And it says the Long Trail, which is a hiking trail, part of the famous Appalachian Trail that is runs pretty well throughout this up and down in the States, and people walk it forever. This is the Long Trail, so it's individually named the Long Trail, but it's part of the Appalachian Trail, and it's quite close to, there's Hell Hollow. And that wiggly line that's going along the bottom horizontally is a road.
Okay.
Okay, so something happened in this area in 1945. Have you any idea what might have happened and where in this map it might have occurred? And the reason I think you might be able to do this is because when we were talking about the Moors murders in England, you were able to define the areas where the bodies were found based on a crummy map like this, which is just astonishing. So,
okay. So we're on Long Trail, Hell Hollow.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a water place that they could have gone into.
Yep.
But I feel like, so was this place also known for dinosaurs?
I have no idea.
Okay. Just saw a dinosaur in my head. Anyways, so if I'm looking at the trail, like I'm looking at it, Glastonbury's up here, Hollow's down here, here's the trail. It's to my left. Mind you, there's a couple of, okay, so over here by the L, and then over underneath where it says Hell Hollow, there's several indications of people being buried off the trail.
Good grief.
And they're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. Maybe 6 people.
Holy crap. Oh, really?
Yeah. There might be a few more, but I'm only picking up 6 here.
Okay. And when you say you're picking them up, are you picking them up having died all at the same time?
No, various deaths.
Various deaths. Well,
or various time frames.
Frig Newton, you pretty well nailed it. Well, I will tell you what happened. In 1945, November 12th, we have the first mysterious disappearance in this area. The wars just ended in 1945. America's settling back into just being a regular country, but Vermont had something happening here. A man named Midi Rivers, who was 74, a skilled woodsman, the sort of guy who knows every trail, every path, every creek, every little branch or whatever. He could read the forest amazingly well. Unfortunately, I have no photograph of Midi, but he was out one day with a group leading a hunting party into the Glastonbury mountain area, right around Hell Hollow, exactly the area that you have just described, okay? He was ahead of his group by a few steps down a regular, familiar logging roll, and then What happened?
The people behind him disappeared.
No, he disappeared.
He did, but so did some of the people behind him.
Not in this circumstance.
Okay, then there's another circumstance.
Okay, yeah, you're getting, that's why I say you're already jumping ahead because you're already anticipating more in the story than we're talking about right now. So Midi disappears. Nothing. Nobody can find him. I mean, he's just steps ahead of the people and suddenly he's gone. So there's a massive search. Obviously very rough terrain, right? You're working through this forested area. They find nothing despite going into a grid pattern search and trying their best. They comb everything. They find not a trace. No footprints, no torn fabric, no bits and pieces from what he might have been carrying in his pockets or over his shoulder. Nothing. It made no sense. He just disappeared. So people said maybe something took him.
Like Bigfoot.
Like Bigfoot. Although, has there ever been thought that Bigfoot's taken many people? I mean, I've heard maybe sometimes Bigfoot might kidnap somebody, but that's not as common as just running around making noise and throwing rocks. So I don't know about the Bigfoot thing, but he disappeared. Okay. So then we have, this is 1945. So life goes on in the mountain. He's never found. And then the next year comes around, December 1st, 1946, young woman named Paula Weldon. She's 18. She's from the local college, which is just near Albany. Okay. Away. She's out for a hike. She's got a bright red jacket on. She told her roommate she's heading up the long trail and there's an access point. I'll show you where the access point is from the road. She was last seen by a man and his son walking a dog along the route. Number 9 will show you. They said she looked happy, confident, in control. She walked up the route. She never returned back to her dorm, never returned back to school, was never heard from again.
Wow.
So here is where the cross between the red line, which is the long trail in this picture, and the red line, which is route number 9, the highway, and the blue line, which is the long trail that she accessed, she disappeared along the blue trail.
Okay, so you see where the blue trail, and it looks like it intersects with another line.
Are you saying the red line?
Well, no, not the red line.
Oh, a little bit.
There's another
the
line. It feels like it's in that area still. Like maybe I'm wondering if they had an old mine, like an old ore mine or something that wasn't shored up properly.
Could very well be. This place was logging and mining in 1800s and things. So I think it was pretty. Could have had all kinds of places you could fall, get hurt, disappear in.
Yeah.
Okay. So big search goes on. Of course, 1,000 people join the search. Bloodhounds, the whole bit. Sadly, same as Midi, the man who disappeared the year before. There was never a trace found of Paula Weldon. So there's thoughts of what's going on here. We have no idea, but I'm going to ask you to look at, let's see, another photo here. Okay. I want you to see if you can tell me which of these 3 women might be or is Paula, the one who disappeared.
Okay.
That's really good test. 2 of the women are red herrings. 1 of the women is Paula. So have a look at 6. There's a young woman. Okay. Have a look at. Don't tell me anything till you've seen them all. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a look at number 7. There's 7. Not a very good picture as well. These are old pictures, of course. And then picture number 8. Photo number 8. Okay. There she is. Another one.
Okay, it's a real toss up between 7 and 6.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
They're very different looking people, don't you think?
Yep, they're all very attractive women. Looking at number 6, you would automatically think she's a woods person, just the way she's dressed. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You would.
So you have to remember, I'm finding 2 photographs from the internet that I can use. So, what they're wearing, I can't really control. I'm just trying to find people that look of that era. So you have to give that kind of a little bit of a break. Hang on.
Just give me a few minutes. I'm going to stare at the pictures for a few minutes.
Yes, please do. Please do. One of these gals at age 18 disappeared in the Green Mountain in 1946. The other
Okay.
two, I have no idea what happened to them.
Like I said, between 6 and 7.
Okay.
I can rule out 8. There's just something about her that doesn't strike me as being out there, maybe a city girl or a college girl, but she just doesn't strike me as I'm going out to
Okay.
walk the field.
Okay.
6 is throwing me a little, but 7 has that intensity of the eyes that says, this is me. So I'm going with 7.
Okay, hang on. There's 7. So you're choosing this young woman because of the intensity of her eye.
There's confidence there. There's knowledge. There's just something about her that's wholesome. That's the only word I can use.
And why would you think that Paula Weldon would need to be wholesome?
I don't know. It's just that she seems 6 and 7. They both seem very grounded, very outdoorsy. 6 being more outdoorsy, I would say. But there's just something about 7, her eyes, it's like she's pleading for help.
Well, Darcy, I'd like to introduce you to Paula Weldon, image number 7.
All right.
Well done. Holy mackerel. I don't know how you do that.
That's okay. Neither do I.
Woohoo. That's astonishing. Yes, you nailed her. So she disappeared, we think, you think as well, somewhere around where I have a circle.
Maybe a little higher.
A little higher where that line is, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she marched up that blue trail. We don't know for how long or for how far. So she certainly could have gotten to that line, which I think might be the stitching of the photograph from Google.
Okay.
I think, but I'm just guessing. Okay, so you think she's somewhere there or disappeared somewhere there. Okay.
Somewhere there, a little, maybe just a tad higher.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so Paula, sadly, never seen again. No sign of her. So then we go on another couple of years, and then we have something really strange that happens. And I'm going to tell you to look at number 10.
Is that 2 people that went missing there?
Now, why do you say that?
Because that's what I saw. 2 people on the trail.
Oh, on the trail? You're thinking 2 people are missing on that trail?
Yeah. Maybe not exactly right on the trail, but very damn close to it.
Okay, well, Midi, as we know, disappeared somewhere near Hell Hollow. And Hell Hollow was sort of the trail. And then young Paula was seen heading onto that trail. So those 2, yes, could have disappeared or did disappear along that trail. Okay, now we're moving on to another year and another incident. When you look at when you look at photo number 10, you'll see the town of Bennington down below.
Yeah.
Okay, something very strange happened around Bennington.
Well, I'm still going with people missing.
Yep.
Okay, but like I said, it feels like 2 people went missing.
Okay.
Okay, like 2 females maybe. I'm not feeling a male presence like the first time.
Okay.
But it definitely feels like there are 2 people involved here.
Okay. When you say
Maybe
involved,
I should say it like that. 2 people involved.
Involved. Okay, well, this is really bizarre, and I think it's sort of, to me, beyond the scope of reason. A man named James Tedford, 68 years old, a veteran, got on a bus in St. Albans, which is a little bit further down, headed towards Bennington. This is the town just outside our sort of green national forest. Passengers recall him getting on the bus, seeing on the bus, sitting quietly in his spot on the bus, reading from a little notebook. The bus heads to Bennington, makes no stops.
Oh no, he disappeared.
He disappeared. Can you
Was
believe
he
it?
a ghost?
I don't know. Did he exist originally? I don't know. But theoretically, this is the truth. The luggage was found above his seat. The newspaper was near where he was sitting that he had looked at. But he was gone. No one saw him leave the bus, they say. No one saw him after the bus stopped. James Tedford just poof, was gone.
Is that why maybe the spontaneous combustion theory started?
I don't know. I've certainly heard of spontaneous combustion, and I know it happens. People do actually, it becomes so engulfed in their own, I think it's body fat flaming, that they melt into nothingness. But there is a puddle of something. Unlike our earlier discussion on the Sodder children who disappeared in a fire and were never seen again, and there were no remains, supposedly, spontaneous combustion definitely has some waxy, gross
Goo left over.
Goo, exactly. So there was no goo of James Tedford's found. But one kind of neat point here is the passengers, at one point, they described that they all felt a little woozy, a little dreamy.
Oh, so
And-
we can go to my alien abduction.
Yeah, or remember when we were at the Palace of Versailles and the two gals went back in time, right?
That's right.
Was there a little time shift? Was there a little bit of monkey business going on? I don't know. But that's what they reported. And of course, James disappeared just after they had this sort of woozy feeling.
Okay.
So who knows? Okay. No,
I like the idea that maybe they went back in time a little bit.
Wouldn't that be cool? I'd love to.
Yeah.
I wonder what. So obviously now you're starting to get a sense of why they think this Glastonbury Mountain, Green National Park, Green Mountain National Park is a haunted kind of place, because now we have 3 disappearances. So now what happens? Photo number 11, we see the same geographic location, slightly different, but very similar. Okay, there's Bennington town. There it is. Okay.
All right.
There's our spot where the trail crossed. Okay. What happened now? And we're talking 1950 now. Something else happened in 1950 in Bennington.
Okay. So again, I'm going to go with female disappearance.
Okay.
Why is it so many females? You almost would think it's a serial killer, but that's a long gap between kills.
But we only have we have one female. We have Midi, who's a male. We had Paula, the teenager. We had James, male. And you're saying.
And then the next one should be a female.
Okay, you're wrong.
It's another man?
A boy.
Oh.
In October. So all of this stuff is happening in the fall. In October 1950, Paul, 8 years old. He lived on a farm near Bennington, and he just went away playing outside, and he was gone. Now,
okay.
He could have been abducted. He could have done all kinds of things, but it ties in with the fear of the ongoing disappearances of people in this area.
Okay. So he was Paul, and there was a Paula.
Correct.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. And then there's a James. And who was the other guy?
Midi, Middie. I don't know what his real name was. Maybe that was his real name. Midi Rivers. Great name. Okay. So this young man disappeared somewhere in the
water shaft
area, farmland.
Yep. I'm hearing water shaft, water something.
Oh, you think he might have drowned?
No, probably, but maybe an underground spring or water. I'm not seeing abduction.
Okay.
Each of these feel like they're not abductions. As much as I like to throw out the serial killer, at this point, that's not what I'm feeling.
Okay. So you're feeling, would you say, for all of them so far, that they're sort of like what I would call a natural,
a freak accident.
An accident in a place where you could easily have an accident because this is
Yeah.
rough terrain, and the boy could have fallen in a creek. Midi could have fallen down a cliff. Paula could have fallen into a shaft, right? James, I don't know about James. James got spirited off the bus. I think we could set him aside.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he probably got off if it was Greyhound, they had a lot of stops along the way. He probably got off to get a drink and the bus driver drove off with him.
Well, they claim the bus never stopped, but
I know it stopped.
I don't know. It has to stop, I think. Okay. Okay. Moving on. So we move to the next event. All right. Again, I would like you to look at photo number 12. Again, similar location. We're all in the same area, but there's something new here. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. So you have to look kind of closely to see what has appeared in this picture that you've not seen before. And you may what happened.
It's closer to Mount Snow. Is that a train line? Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Something happened here.
Okay, I get the big fat M. So normally I would say murder.
Okay.
But it's weird because there's a hook and so either it's a hook or a question mark. And there's a circle, which is not on your map.
Okay.
But I'm seeing a circle.
Okay.
So it's to the left of what would be the trail down from Glastonbury. You see, it's not on your map.
Okay. But
okay.
I mean, roughly tell me where it might be on my map. I mean,
If you come straight down from Glastonbury,
okay,
and it's right in that area. Again, it's sort of similar to the area of the first one.
Yeah, well, this is all the same kind of terrain, but I'm just giving you slightly greater pieces or different pieces. Okay, well, in 1950 as well, a gal named Frida Langer, a 53-year-old nurse and an experienced woods woman, if you can call it that. She joined some family friends and her family, and they went on a camping trip near what's called the reservoir, the Somerset Reservoir. This is the new piece that's been added to this picture. There it is in the upper, I guess there's left. Okay, they were up there camping.
All right.
Okay.
And that would explain my circle.
Okay.
Because campfire in a circle.
Okay, cool. Okay. Interesting. Frida went hiking, slipped on a rock, fell into shallow water. No big deal. She laughed it off and told her gang she'll head back to the camp, your circle, and warm herself up, change her clothes. Okay? She'd be back. She headed off to the camp, but then there were people at the camp at the same time. She never arrived.
Wow.
So what's interesting about Frida is she disappeared, yes, but what happened? She's a bit different. Her disappearance is different than the others. Can you come up with some reason why it would be?
You wanted to say murder, but I don't know why I want to say murder.
I don't know either.
Okay. I think because she was seen after she disappeared.
And why do you say that?
Because you said she was seen going to the camp and there were other people there, but then there's that gap, and then there's over here where it feels like someone may have seen her.
Okay, that's interesting because 7 months later, her body was found.
Over here?
Yes.
I know.
I realize, who the heck knows? Somewhere her body was found in the forest.
Okay.
Not where she'd been, but in an area that they had thoroughly searched. So that probably shows you how challenging the search was, the conditions of the forest.
But if she was lost and trying to find a way, it would be very easy to walk around in a circle. That's why they tell you to stay stationary now. Okay, but I keep thinking she was murdered.
Okay, well, I don't think she was murdered, but remember, she was a skilled woods person.
Yeah.
Okay. So she would not have, I think, been easily disoriented. But somehow she died. Again, another disappearance, but surprisingly enough, 7 months later, she's found. The body's so decomposed, there's no way to tell how she died, no way to determine if it's murder or not. But I'm going to ask you in this circumstance, I'm going to ask you to identify Frida this time. So second chance. You beat me on the first one. So I'm going to show you photos 13, 14, and 15. Now these are all, again, one woman is Frida. The other two, just people I found on the net, similar age, similar look. Okay. So
Okay, I'm going with 13.
You've already
Okay.
looked? Okay.
I did. You said 13, so I looked at 13, and she strikes me as she would be very confident in the bush. 15, more executive, and 14, well, she could pass as a nurse. See, now I'm stuck between 13 and 14.
Okay.
Watch, I'll probably be wrong this time. What was her name again?
Frida.
Frida.
Frida Langer.
Langer.
Yeah.
Frida Langer.
Frida Langer.
Let me just look. Frida.
Yeah, take your time. One of these gals is Frida Langer.
Yeah, 13 seems to be standing out a little bit more, but 14 has such intensity in her eyes. And it's weird because it must be the way the shot is, like the actual picture that was taken of her. Okay, just looking at it, it's like her whole face is quivering.
Yeah, it's a very poor picture. So my picture is doing that as well. So don't get fooled by it.
Okay. So
just seem to have come out. My getting them from the public domain on the internet. They seem to be poor.
Frida Langer. I'm still going with 13. It's just the look of her.
Wow.
That intensity, the energy of her. When I ask the question to them, and I am doing that, that's what I'm scrolling back and forth. Are you Frida Langer? No. Are you Frida Langer? No. 13, are you Frida Langer? And I'm sad, yes.
And what was it you said before the yes? You said I'm.
Are you Frida Langer? I'm sad, yes.
I'm
13.
sad.
I'm sad.
Oh, okay.
Number 13.
I will introduce you now to Frida Langer. You are right.
Okay. She's so sad.
Is that because something's happened to her? She's disappeared, or you're just getting that sense? You don't get it from the other two?
No, I don't get it from the other two. I don't get the sadness. The one, number 14, is very intense. I'd be afraid to tangle with her. Okay. It's like, she's probably a very nice person, but it's just the energy.
Wow.
But this one, she strikes me. You did say she's a nurse, so she's got that caring feeling to her, but she's sad.
Wow. There you go, Darcy. You nailed both of the gals. I can't believe it. 2 for 2, which is remarkable. So we have a series of disappearances. Do any of them strike you as being untoward, being murderous, something that was foul play?
No. In her case, okay, I'm on the fence with Frida. There is a little foul play, but I'm sort of wondering if it's just because she got disoriented. Okay. Maybe the fall in the water was a little more serious than she let on.
Oh, that's a good point. Could well be. She could have hit her head. Who knows? Yeah. Okay.
So I don't get the impression she ever got out of the wet clothes.
Really? Oh, I'd love to know that, but I think the body clothes were so deteriorated, they wouldn't know that, but that would be really cool to know. That's a good question. I wouldn't have thought of that. I like that.
I would say maybe a little disorientation, a little hypothermia.
Yeah.
And she's just so sad, but she was such a lovely person. She cared for a lot of people, but I don't feel like she really cared. And when I say that, I mean she didn't look after herself.
Ah, that often happens, doesn't it? Those who are healers don't heal themselves. They're focused too outside. Okay, well, would you say then Okay, you have an idea of how Frida came to her sad end. Fair enough, seems logical. How about going back to the beginning? Midi Rivers, the 74-year-old experienced hunter who just vanished while he was walking ahead of his team or his group hunting
I
party.
feel like
What do
he
you-
fell down a shaft of some sort.
Okay, so a natural hazard,
Occurrence.
natural death. Okay, how about our gal Paula, the college student, only 18?
Same thing. Feel like she veered off track. Maybe she was following something. Maybe she heard something. She wanted to investigate it. And it, again, natural.
Okay.
It was part of nature.
Okay. And James Tedford, our missing bus passenger, I think we should really set him aside as being just nonsense, right? Would be fun if we'd gone to a different
He's
world.
not part of this.
Okay, fair enough. We have the young boy, Paul.
I hear water. So
Okay.
maybe there was an old well somewhere. Again,
Right.
farm. They would
Right.
drill for a well in various places. So
Sure.
I'm hearing water.
Right. Okay, so I think you pretty well nailed probably the truth of all these incidents, except for the guy on the bus. We have, and it's not surprising, Darcy. I mean, a place like that, I would think any rocky, rugged terrain is going to have missing hikers regularly. I mean, I don't know why it's such a big deal, but it seems to have become quite the folklore of the mountain.
Hey, we have one in Chilliwack. They were out hiking and they turned around and the guy was gone.
Really?
Yep, I can't remember the year. It wasn't that long ago. They went out hiking, 3 of them, and only 2 came back.
Oh, wow. And was the idea that it was unnatural?
Yeah, they think he might have walked close to an edge and just slid down it and couldn't get back up.
Holy mackerel. To add to the sort of folklore idea and to maybe push this into, common parlance, they've nicknamed the area the Bennington Triangle. The sort of
I
hill.
figured that when I saw that. I was going to say, hey, look, Bermuda Triangle.
Exactly. Bennington Triangle, because of the town Bennington is one corner of the triangle. And the other 2 are hitting the Hell Hollow area and then the sort of further out beyond Hell Hollow.
Yeah.
So that's at least, kind of the geographic location where these disappearances have happened. Now, I'm sure since 1950, when Frida sadly disappeared, there have been other disappearances, but they haven't been put together as closely, perhaps, or haven't been considered by the public as being something that's a grouping of disappearances.
I'd be really curious if anyone else disappeared here.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody has. I mean, it looks like it's like 27,000 acres of wilderness. Wow. So a big, huge place with a lot of opportunities to fall, break your leg, step on a stone, trip over, go down a well, fall into a river, or whatever. Yeah, and certainly if you're on your own, which Paula was, although Frida wasn't, Midi wasn't. So it's funny that you could three Chilliwack gentlemen, you can be with people and still somebody can literally slip out of sight.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, thank you for our visit to the Bennington Triangle tonight. You did very well there. I mean, at the very beginning, when you said murder, I thought, aha, I've got you. But then you worked your way around like you always do to something different, and you came to disappearance. And then you talked about family, and I thought, no, and you said multiple, more than one person. So I thought, how do you get that idea that, we could have just talked about one person disappearing. We've done that. But somehow you knew there was more than one.
Well, like I said, it's like pulling a book out and you can see that it's not fitting properly. So it's like when I looked at my daughter's painting yesterday and it was fire and then I kept going and this is like, it's like putting your hand in a glove and you know that the glove doesn't quite fit because there's a 6th finger.
Oh, well, what I find, there's so much remarkable about your talents and abilities, but I find that you use a lot of stuff around you, not just spirit guides, but you'll often, like one time you said the painting behind me had iron or nails in it, and you took something from that. You've got your daughter's painting, you took something from that. Sometimes you'll say, I was, waiting for the program today and I jotted something down and it said Marilyn Monroe. anything, or dates and stuff. And I think, how do you, you're not just using what's in your head, you're taking the surroundings.
It's like going through picture 13, 14, and 15 and asking them, are you? And I had to do it several times till one of them actually said yes.
Do they just not say anything?
Sometimes they won't say anything, but see, when we did the one show last night, the pictures were flat, like those kids were gone. There was no residue of them left that I could see. Okay.
Yeah.
But tonight, when you showed the pictures, these pictures stood out. And so normally for most medium psychic, it's going to be a flat picture. That means there's nothing there, no essence. The other people who still have life or live life will stand out. And the other two ladies did. But these other ladies, they really stood out. They had that quality that you're looking for, confidence. You have the caring type feel around them. So it is definitely a huge difference for me when I look at them.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote it down. I wrote Frida Langer. That's why I asked what her name was, because I had to go with the full name, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just ripping off, and there it is, Frida Langer, number 13. No hesitation when I wrote it down, but I still had to go through it.
Yeah.
To ask them.
Well, could they lie to you?
Oh, absolutely. They could lie to me, but why lie now? They're dead. Some dead people will lie to me.
What, and will you know that, or will you find out later?
A lot of times what I hear is liar, liar, pants on.
So who's telling them, like, how many voices are happening in there?
It can be many. It could be 1 to 15. It all depends on who it is.
Gee, I'm terrified, but I'd love a chance to just dive into your head one day, just to get a sense of craziness that goes on. I think I'd be overwhelmed for sure.
Well, sometimes I'm overwhelmed with it too.
But you have, I guess, a history experience. You're pretty calm. You take your time. Like you said, you had to ask them several times. You ask your spirit guide. You take some time to listen. You look around. You know, you're assessing the situation, so you don't jump to any conclusions. Although you were quickly to say, bingo, 13, that's her. And you were quickly to say Paula, the number for Paula's photograph. You were pretty quick to say that was the one, and then you confirmed it. But your initial instincts are really always very finely honed.
Sometimes I don't listen to what I'm hearing. And when I don't listen to what I'm hearing, that's when I get hurt.
When you say hurt, what do you mean?
Oh yeah, I broke my ankle, popped my knee out. If I don't listen, there are consequences for me, not for most people, okay? But for myself, I have learned that if I don't listen, I'm going to get hurt because they're trying to teach me something.
Jeez. And when you say you don't listen, it's what aren't you listening to? Not like tonight's discussion. That wouldn't be something that would be.
No, that wouldn't. No, but like if they're telling me go left instead of right, don't do it. Go ahead and do it, and I don't listen. Like there are consequences.
Oh,
now it only seems to happen to me. Okay, I don't know. I can remember this one time an incident occurred. A dime fell out of my day timer, which was a weird place to have a dime. And I said, I'll go home now. And the dime fell out, which represents my father. And I thought we were allowed 1 minute because that's what it used to cost. So go home because that's basically what it was. And then I changed my mind and decided not to go home, and I broke my ankle.
Okay. Now, other people would say that's just a coincidence. Has nothing to do with the do with the dime.
Yep. Other people would say it's a coincidence, but no, because I had stated, okay, I'm going home, and then I changed my mind.
Okay, so you're having to learn this stuff and pay more attention.
Oh yeah.
To your peril if you don't.
Yes, it can be.
Okay, well, thanks, Darcy. That was a fun experience heading out to Vermont and into those deep, dark forested mountains. And, you know, it's sad to hear of 5 people's disappearances, obviously deaths. But it was interesting to for us to go through them, and definitely interesting for me for you to initially figure it out, that's disappearances, and then to nail the two women, to identify them so confidently and so correctly is really astounding. So well
I
done.
have to say that I was pretty astounded too.
That's even better. I like the fact that you're not overly confident. You think you know it and you say it, but when the truth comes out, you say you're also astounded. So that's fun. Good for you to admit that. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, take care. We'll talk to you again.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Seeing Dead People. Your questions and comments are welcome. Shoot us an email to info@radiosydney.ca with SDP in the subject line. New episodes air on the first Saturday of the month on our website radiosydney.ca. All episodes are available as podcasts from our website or our YouTube channel Nicola Furlong Mysteries. This has been a presentation of Radio Sydney.